Hi everyone, I'm Erin. Welcome to Wine Myths Uncorked. Now today we are going to tackle the often heard adage that the best pairing for red meat is always red wine, and the best pairing for white meat and seafood is always white wine. But is that always the case? So today we brought in the big guns. We brought in Damian to see if he could bust this myth, and he's going to come up with two dishes that hopefully break the mold. John, what are you thinking?
Well, what I'm really thinking is how am I going to do this, because what they've given me is a Delmonico steak and an entire fillet of salmon, entire side. So I've got a couple of ideas of how to pair this and a couple of tricks up my sleeve in preparation to make this work. So why don't you follow me to the kitchen and we'll get cooking.
Woohoo!
I gotta have these with me too. Planked Atlantic salmon. It's being baked on a white oak board, and it's very important that it's white oak. It's topped with a Dijon spread with parsley and thyme.
What are you doing, John?
What I'm doing is I'm curing the meat slightly with wine, olive oil, and lemon juice. Sort of like a modified carpaccio. Now we're going to grill our Delmonico. It's been marinating in the olive oil and lemon juice and white wine. Grill it. It's partially cured, so you can easily do this rare. It's going to flame up because of the oil, so you just want to make sure you get the flame down before you start. This is our asparagus. It's going to be served on the side.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Wine Myths Uncorked. This is the fun part where we get to taste the dishes. So earlier we knew we were going to have one steak dish and one salmon dish, and I am thrilled with these pairings. It looks like we have a Chardonnay with the steak and a Pinot Noir with the salmon. So tell me about it.
The first dish, the salmon dish, is actually a fairly easy pairing. We have planked salmon. The salmon is baked on a white oak plank. It's topped with Dijon lemon juice, thyme, and parsley. The oak component actually marries real nicely with the oak component in the Pinot Noir, because Pinot Noir is almost always oak aged. The thing about oily fishes, salmon in particular that we're using here, they all lend themselves to red wines. Gamay is another good variety that you can use, which is Beaujolais. Things like tuna, bluefish, wahoo, anchovies, any of those fish, even if you just grill them, they're wonderful with Pinot Noir.
So good.
Okay. Now the steak was a little more difficult. Steak is a lot easier to pair with red wines because of the acids and the flavor profiles of red wines. The way I got around it is I took the steak and I marinated it in olive oil, a little bit of lemon juice, and Chardonnay. So it's basically slightly cured like you would with carpaccio. So we've already got some of those flavors now in the meat, so that makes it easier to pair. Then I topped it with shiitake mushrooms and peppers and green onions, and that's also finished with Chardonnay, and those flavors pair real nicely with Chardonnay as well. So the flavor is going to go throughout.
Yum.
The asparagus is the same way. It's tossed with lemon juice, olive oil, and Chardonnay. The onions and the rosemary peppers also have Chardonnay in it, so the whole dish itself will actually pair nicely with the Chardonnay. One thing I do want to say about wine and food in general, even though it may be difficult to pair something like beef with white wine, eat and drink what you like to eat and drink. That's what's important. There's only great dishes and great glasses or bottles of wine. There are not just great wines.
Yeah.
So if you like something, don't be afraid to pair it together. I don't particularly like red wine and chocolate. People love it and they make it work. So here's the chocolate, red wine, beef and Chardonnay, and salmon and Pinot Noir.
Oh man,
I can't
there
take a
we
bowl.
go. Cheers.
Cheers, salud.